Yo, what's going on, guys? Flurpledur here, and welcome back to another Skyblock Isles guide video. Here today, I am going to be covering the basics of fishing. But before I get into this video, I want to go ahead and say, if you guys want to catch me live, I stream Skyblock Isles Monday and Friday every single week. Twitch.tv/Flurpledur. Links are all in the description. Now, first off, there's the basics of fishing. Now, when you actually speak to Morgana over there, you'll get a kit which will come with, I believe, 2, if not 3 of the things you will need for fishing. One of those being a fishing net, the other being a fishing spear. There's also some helpful shops at the docks here, as well as over here at the, fishing shop, that you can buy some useful things as well, such as a fishing rod, a lapis fishing net, and a bronze fishing spear. On top of that, there's also some very good mods here. I'll go over those in a little bit, though. There's also another fishing mod here. Again, I'll go over that in a second, but what we're going to cover now is the basics. So, there's 2 main things you can see in the fishing skill tab. That is the fish you can fish. Obviously, it takes different levels to fish different fish, and different tools as well, which, well, same deal. Quickly interrupting this video to let you guys know that I am planning a 12-hour stream on Skyblock Isles on this channel that you're watching right now when we hit 3,000 subscribers. Currently, 80% of you guys aren't already subscribed to the channel. If you enjoy Skyblock Isles, want to see more of it, and want to see this 12-hour stream, go down below, click that subscribe button. Let's get back to this video. So first off, going over the tools, I've already mentioned them. There are 3 different types of tools you can use. Technically, you could consider 4 because there are some fish that require your hand, but that's a whole different thing. It requires a quest, strength, and obviously fishing. 3 main tools you're going to be using are nets, fishing rods, and fishing spears. There are obviously some other things like a vest, which will give you increased fishing level. When you first start off, you just kind of run to the side over at the docks here, or anywhere you can kind of explore around and find different fishing spots. This is the first one you're going to go to because you're only level 1. You can fish sardines here with a net. Now, early on, fishing is great because you really don't need anything other than the tool. Now, once you get into things like cod and flounder, using the rod mainly, you'll also need to have a certain type of bait. You can see here, flounder requires worms. Stone crab actually requires a net and chum. There are some others that require a net and then chum, or a net and then stone chum as well. Cod requires rod and worms, and that raises a problem here because obviously there's flounder that takes rod and worms and cod that takes rod and worms, but one's level 12 and one's level 3. When you fish here with a rod and worms, you have a chance of getting flounder or cod. A much higher chance of getting flounder and a much lower chance of getting cod. That actually makes this a very bad place to level up your fishing. From what I've noticed, if you use a spear, you only really need a spear. So early on, that is a very good way of, leveling your fishing. Now you might be asking, well, how do you actually get better tools? Well, you can buy them from certain places or through certain skills. Through Artisan Miscellaneous, you can actually tan up different types of hide and get different types of gems to make the nets. All you need to do is use, a toolbox, or more specifically, the needle inside of the toolbox. The other one falls under fletching, and it is in here, tools. It is all fishing rods, and you see it'll take a certain type of bark, like willow bark, and a sear fishing line, which I believe that specific skill falls under alchemy. Sorry, that specific skill falls under artisan as well in the spinning tab. You find a loom, and you take wool, and you want to spin it into fishing line. It requires 1 of the wool and 2 flax. Now, there's a lot I could go into with all of this and how to craft all of this, but a lot of it, if you haven't seen, I have some other guides that probably can help out with that. Other than that, there's a helpful map actually right up here in Wharfmolo, which you can use to navigate, find different things such as the loom and the flax field. Although someone did ask me to go over some of the different materials that you will need specifically in this for lapis, jade, amber, and so on. A lot of these are found from mob drops. If I go into here and let's say I look up lapis, you can see lapis will pop up, and these are all the different mobs that can find it, or that can drop it. The best way to really do it is just kind of kill everything and see what works best for you. You can see for now, the Wharfmolo man and woman, I believe, have the same odds, a 1 in 23 chance of getting rough lapis. So they're a pretty good way to get lapis early on. As for jade, there's actually an area in Skyglock, this building here, which is the pub, or tavern, or whatever they call it, where you can actually just kind of grab jade off of a barrel every, say, 5 minutes. Now, the last ones on the list, amber, I don't know of any other specific way of getting it. There probably is specific ways to get it. I do know, obviously, a lot of these are mob drops. Jade is also a mob drop from foxes and maybe other things. Amber, I know you have a chance of getting it when chopping certain trees. I'm not sure if it matters. I know the big oak trees, not the log ones, the oak log ones, it's confusing. They have a chance of giving you amber as at least a quick time action, or from the Ents, they have a chance of dropping amber. Pearls, you get those from beach snails and, what are they called? Hermit crabs. Sapphires, I actually have no idea. But I'm not covering every single, like, drop individually. Obviously, that's very helpful to know, but we're just covering mainly the basics. Now, speaking of basics, what I would recommend for fishing spots is obviously in Wharfmolo, there's some very good ones. Sardine, obviously, is the way you're going to start out. Then Flounder is pretty good. I believe there's also some over here. Some other fishing spots, that is. And then if I'm not mistaken, there's also a fishing spot over here you can go to. Yeah, for shrimp and oysters. I would say shrimp is probably your best bet of experience once you get to level 8. Obviously, cod is a higher level. However, it's, again, an odds. Like, you're not always going to get cod. You're mostly going to get the level 3 thing, which is flounder. What I would definitely recommend is leveling up your fishing until you get to squid. You need level 23 fishing and the fishing findings quest, but squid is very good to fish up, and it only requires a spear. There's also a spot right over here that you can fish it up, which then you can sell over there if you're just trying to get experience and money, and it's also one of the really good ways of making money, so you can kind of knock 2 birds out with 1 stone. Now, there are a few unique ones, like I mentioned, that require different things. The first one is actually trout, which is prior to squid and requires strength, as well as the infested apple quest. Other than that, there's also catfish, which also requires strength, the infested apple quest, and is also using your hand. Now, the last thing I'm going to go ahead and cover, which technically wasn't on my list of things to cover, but I just realized it earlier while I was recording this, is the mods. Now, I did mention that COD is not bad, or sorry, not good. However, if you get this right here, which requires 75 raw cod, 500 worms, 1 lapis, and 2,900 coins, you can mod it at the trials area onto your rod, and it'll prioritize cod while fishing, which makes it very good. There's also one for shrimp, and there is one for oysters. On top of that, there is another mod at this guy that I mentioned, which is actually going to increase your fishing nets. Well, efficiency, that's the one. I think that pretty much covers it. If there's anything you guys want me to go more in depth on, or if there's any questions, leave them down in the comments below. I'll try and answer them. I didn't go over like a lot of the crafting basics because it's mainly about fishing, which, I mean, it's fairly simple. You definitely want to dive into Artisan and also fletching if you want to make your own tools, or you can just buy them off the marketeer or in various shops around the Isles. But that's it for this one. If you guys did enjoy, leave a like on it. Again, links in the description for my Twitch channel, as well as the VODs channel where I upload VODs, well, of the 3-hour streams I do on Skyblock Isles, if you want to catch that little series. I will see you guys in the next one. If you enjoy Skyblock Isles, want to see more of it, and want to see this 12-hour stream, go down below, click that subscribe button.